Hello everybody, this is Frankie from Vibrant Center for Voice and Movement, and today I want to focus in on the spine. It's really valuable for all of us to have a practice that allows our joints to move and be flexible and have a full range of motion, and also to be able to activate some of the natural body pumps in our own system. So for example, that's why you don't want to sit too long. You want to get up and walk around because you have a heel pump that helps with the blood returning back up to your heart. Similarly, in your spine, in your tailbone, you have a pump that brings the cerebral spinal fluid back up the spine. So this is important for everybody, but then also for actors and performers, it's very valuable to have a movement practice, not simply for movement's sake, but also to be able to bring more nuance and the ability to use the spine and other parts of the body in creating character, in purveying emotions, and being able to craft a performance. So today I want to focus in on the spine. And I'm going to demonstrate a few things and then talk you through your own practice. So first, I just want to show you, I'm going to turn to the side. If I say head to tail to go down, the first thing you're going to do is drop your head, keep your knees soft, and then follow the weight of your head down. And you can take your time with this. You might even feel places where you want to pause and breathe. And then continue following the head over. And I want you to do this in your own pace. So I'm just demonstrating. But when I'm doing this for myself, I might really take my time until I'm coming down to the bottom. I'm not trying to touch the floor. I'm just trying to keep everything released. And breathe at the bottom. Perhaps even finding some sound. So that's head to tail going down. Now the roll up that we know, if you notice, I start with my tail and then I follow up to my head. So that roll up is tail to head. Now what if I wanted to do tail to head to go down? I would drop my tail, open up, and my head would be the last to come down. Then I can go tail to head to come up. Now what if I want to do tail to head to go down and then head to tail to come up? So I would drop my tail and let my head be the last to drop. Take a breath here. And then raise my head and follow the head with the tail being the last. So that leaves us with one last combination, and that is head to tail to go down, head to tail to come up. Dropping my head, taking a breath, and then following the weight of my head, keeping my knees soft till I come down. Then letting the head lead me back up. Beautiful. So now it's your turn, and I want you to take your time with this. I may quickly or more slowly, and that's okay. So to start off with, bring your feet about hip distance apart or 2 fists apart. Just take a moment to notice what's present in your body. Perhaps you have a feeling of some imbalances from left to right, and that's really common. I have a very right dominant side. Feel the underside of your feet on the floor, and just take a moment to notice your breath. Now drop your head to your chest. Take a breath here. Keep your knees soft and follow your head all the way down. If there's a place where you want to pause, perhaps it feels a bit tight, pause and breathe into that. And when you're at the bottom, take a breath and let some audible sound come out. And now you're going to roll up tail to head. So starting with the tail, the head is going to be the last to come up. And again, on this journey, if there's a place where it would feel nice to pause and just notice some tight muscles or some feeling of opening in the back, do that now. Until the head is the last to come up. And try to avoid the desire to fidget. Just notice how this feels. Now this time, you're going to roll down tail to head. So that means releasing the tail first. It's going to open the chest, moving the tail down. The head stays up until it's the last part of the spine. Following all the way over until your head is just hanging down again. And taking a breath here with some audible sound. And then you're going to roll up as you did before. So tailbone moves down to the ground first, and then the head will be the last to come up. And then this time it's going to be tail to head to go down. So releasing the tailbone, opening up in the chest, feeling the throat stretch, and then releasing the head last. Taking your time with this, whatever feels good to you, and taking a breath at the bottom. Letting some audible sound. Beautiful. And then this time I want you to lead with the head up. So hanging down, lift the head, and follow the head with the rest of the spine, keeping the knees nice and soft. And as you do come up, just make sure you're dropping your weight down into your feet. Take a breath here at the top. And now release the head again, chin to chest. Follow the head back down, keeping the knees soft. Finding an audible exhale at the bottom. And then this time, I want you to lift the head and then follow the head back up. And take a moment here just to notice how you feel in your body before you make any adjustments. And then let that go in a nice shake. Great. And now this one, I want you to explore moving side to side. So as if you had a pencil coming out of your nose, keep your knees soft, and you're simply going to bend your knees and then curve your body over. For me, this is the right. If you're following me, this might be your left. And then draw with your nose up and around. Up and around. Curving over to the other side. So not compressing or collapsing, but as if you're curving over a barrel and you're going to feel a little push now in the knee. Curving over the barrel, feeling this side open up, and curving over a barrel, pushing up, tracing a snake shape with your nose, letting that roll over from side to side, up and around. Up and around, and breathe. Let there be some sound here. Beautiful. we'll do one more, up and around, coming up. Now, when you begin this type of practice, it could be quite uncomfortable at first, simply doing a spinal roll down and a spinal roll up. I have very low blood pressure, and when I started doing spinal work, it was quite uncomfortable. It wasn't painful, but the muscles were very, very tight. But it doesn't stay like that forever. So the more that you move your body, the more that you can release the held muscles and also bring your awareness to patterns. So there may be a specific part of your body that you tend to hold. And for all people, being able to then release and reset is so important. There are a number of somatic practices that look at how we armor, and it actually means that we can't access ourselves fully or be able to access emotions and heal and release. And then also as characters, if we're playing different characters, we don't want every character to look the same, right? I don't want all of my characters to be Frankie. I want to be able to use my body to be able to take me into different emotions, different characterizations. And so having a more flexible self means that I can make more use of myself while also being able to let go so that I have better balance emotionally, mentally, and physically. And also, too, in that if I release tension, I can also be able to use my voice, my vocal instrument more fully and have more range and support so that I'm not exhausting myself or causing a health condition which will make me need to have some help from a speech and language pathologist or a specialist. So let's just revisit the spine. This time, I want you to sway. So to start off with, keep your knees soft, keep your contacting the floor. And what I mean by that is, I tend to be someone who holds my center up high, so I have to think about dropping my weight into the floor. And now I just want you to find a nice swing. And allow some exhale on sound. Let your arms have weight to them. Feel how the spine is spiraling side to side. So it's like And then let that get a little smaller and a little smaller until you come back to center. Now, keeping this idea of side to side, I want you to drop your head and find a gentle sway side to side. Let the jaw go here, let the tongue go here. And you're going to roll over, but take your time with this. Rolling over through the spine is incidental. What's more important is a nice loose side to side sway. Feel the weight of your body here. And stay with this swing to swing, side to side swing. And incidentally, you're going to roll up. Whew. And when you do come to the top, feel the energy of that swing, but perhaps the outer form of that swing gets a little smaller, and a little smaller, and a little smaller. as you keep the energy of that swing alive inside of your body. Let your jaw release, let your tongue release. Check in with your breath here. Notice if you're holding. Really common to suck in or hold. Let everything go. You're not pushing the belly out, but simply letting your whole torso be involved in your breath. Beautiful. And because I'm wearing a black shirt on a white background, maybe you can even see how my ribs are part of my breath. So my ribs are opening and my belly drops. And then the ribs collapse. Seeing them open again. And the belly drops and then collapsing. So often we are taught to be belly breathers, and that sort of results in us holding our ribs still and then just kind of pumping with the belly. And I want you to think about the whole rib cage expanding. As if you're opening up a big channel inside of your body. Beautiful. So that was a little nibble of some of the work that I do around the spine. And then just to finish off on that, I want you to find your and I want you to imagine that you have a pencil hanging from your tailbone, and just swing the tailbone front and back and breathe. You might feel some tender places as you're opening up space in the lower back around the tailbone. And now side to side. So you're thinking of your tailbone, that there's a little pencil, and you're just marking a line side to side. And allow there to be some sound. And now I want you to draw a circle. So as if you're drawing a clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Really thinking about moving through all of those numbers. And then moving counterclockwise through all of those numbers. And then give a gentle shake. Ooh, lovely. So I'm going to end things there, but I encourage you to find opportunities in the day to roll through your spine and to be able to roll through all of those ways that I took you through. So not just the spinal roll down and roll up that you may be familiar with, but also opening the chest and letting the head be the last to drop. For those of you familiar with yoga, those are actually the forms that come out in the sun salutations, the rolling down and the rolling up, opening up the chest, or letting the chest and the head be the last to drop. We're simply focusing in on the spine itself. And then being able to increase this idea of Noguchi or water body work, thinking of the wave and putting that wave into the spine as you're breathing. One last word is on the Audible Exhale. I increasingly am passionate about the Audible Exhale. It's really important, especially if we are vocal performers, to include an Audible Exhale. Yoga classes, as lovely as they aren't usually focused on voice, and so it actually can mean that we actually end up holding. And by using our exhale, we can actually connect to what we're feeling inside, finding the vibration of that emotion, even if we don't have words for it, and then being able to let that emotion out so that we can actually experience ourselves more fully. Sometimes it feels like we experience emotion and then we clench around it and then we're kind of running off onto other things. And then we experience another emotion that piles and piles and piles on top. Just having a sound for that emotion is incredibly valuable for being able to work with your body, because voice is body. The vibrations that we create are uniquely ours and a deep connection with our truth and our bodies. So I'll leave you with that. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.